G'day punters, welcome back to the MacBet Early Move, the Queensland Racing Show, where we preview a feature race on Saturday in Brisbane. Johnny Mcleod, professional punter, joins me. John, how you going?
Hey James, good mate. Bit of an up and down sort of week, but yeah, we just sort of got to change our stride.
Moving house not helping. Maybe you're playing musical chairs there at mum's place or something. You said, yeah.
Yeah, we sort of had to set up here for a little while until we find the new joint. Weren't gonna rush into anything, so the house was actually sold and fairly well. It took a while, and we were sort of thinking, oh well, we'll sit on our hands and wait, but it actually sold, and then we had to do something about it.
Got to move fast, yeah, absolutely. And so let's recap while we're talking results. Yeah, tough sort of a week. We've sort of knocked off 16 and a half units in Queensland, negative sort of 80%, down 15 units for the month of August. 10.4%. So I think that might be our first losing month for the year. A bit disappointing.
I was going to say that I was thinking that we hadn't had a losing month the whole year. So it's not to say that we wanted to see one.
No.
But we've put one together, and hopefully we can change stride again. That's right.
For sure. No, I've been ultra consistent throughout the year as well. And if you guys want to see the results, obviously we post them up every sort of Thursday at MacBet Tips on Twitter. So yeah, we're accountable. We're not gonna forget the old post if we have a losing week. We'll always put something up, and 100% transparent with what we do. And
that's the way you got to be. You got to if you keep on just putting up that you win all the time, and then all of a sudden you have a bad week and you go missing, it's just not right. So we're doing the right thing by everyone anyway.
And the punters can smell bullshit as well. I think Twitter's pretty cutthroat. I don't think you can get away with much there. There's plenty of blokes on there willing to call you out. Whether they've got their name on their accounts or not, that's another question. But everyone's got something to say. It keeps you pretty honest. I think it's good.
I think it's pretty good, that sort of thing. The ones that haven't got their names on them, where you can just gloss over those blokes. But the ones that have got their name and they say something, well, that's their opinion, and everyone's got to listen to their opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. Like what's the saying? The AH, everyone's got one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we'll jump into the improvers from last week, which we always post up on a Monday on Twitter as well. We'll go through your top three improvers. Hopefully, we make this improver list next week after a couple of winners on Saturday. But let's just jump in with your third best improver from last weekend at Doomben. That one is the Desley Forster Galloper. Couldn't refuse. Ran 13th in race 9, 13th of 15. What did you see here?
Well, this horse has got some nice ability, and the way the race was run and where it got to in the map, and it finished the race off well. So it's come back all right, and it did enough to suggest that it can improve out of that run. And I don't know whether it's going to be the next time or the third up run, but he just had no luck. And if he draws a gate, he's a horse that can be sitting midfield or whatever, and the sectionals were quite okay. So I think he's an improver.
For sure.
Like the word says.
Yes. that's why the segment's that. And then, we've got Achieve, the Chris Waller runner, ran 8th of 10 in race 2 at Doom, and they're sort of in the back end of the field, these improvers. What did you see there as well?
Well, similar sort of thing. It was making ground, the finish sort of thing. Just wasn't really suited, and I think the Waller stable just makes improvement, especially when they start getting up over a bit more distance. They seem to come to the fore. So I think it'll take improvement out of that run as well. I think from memory, out of the yard as well, I was sort of thinking that the horse just didn't look totally right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, those two are great, finishing pretty far back in the field, but impressive on the figures, which is really good. So definitely probably worth following. Next start One that was a little bit more obvious of an improver is the Golden Runner, the Move. It won the first event at Doomben. What did you like about the win, John?
Well, just how much it improved. Like I don't believe the figures so much.
Okay.
I don't think it went as well as a few as the sectionals. Well, we get 2 or 3 lots of sectionals, and one of them was very, very high, and ours was probably half that.
Okay.
But I still think half the sectionals were good enough to say the horse has come back a hell of a lot better than what it had produced its last start. So, or even its previous one. But I think we had it improving, around 3 to 4 lengths on any runners ever had. So it was a surprise. I can definitely see that. But and in the yard, he sort of he hadn't changed too much, from what I've seen. So it was just a real surprise how his figures just jumped so much. But as I said, ours was only half as good as what was out there, and even with those half figures, it's jumped that much. So we've got to believe it.
Would that be your biggest improver we've had since sort of running the segment?
Champagne Arnie was one that made big improvement. I think prior to its backup run, the run before that it had jumped pretty much similar figures.
Okay.
So they can do it, but it sort of shows a horse that's on the up and can jump into that next class and go that way. I think so. One of the Twitter guys, James, I think it was, he actually asked a question about that. How far can he go? And I compared this horse with Ballistic Boy. It's sort of like a similar type of figure, So Ballistic Boy won an open cup class race, I think it was, and so he should be able to get into that range. Whether he can get into listed company, and that's a different story. But not, it's not to say if he improves another couple of lengths on top of that, well, it's it can. But even going back to Champagne Arnie, the day that it did jump, probably 4 or 5 lengths, it leveled out. It didn't go again; it leveled out. So I would, if this horse goes again, well, it can get to listed company.
Yeah, sure. And it's a Golden Runner as well, and we all know how well he improves them too. So keep your eyes on the move. Potentially big things coming. More big things coming this weekend at Eagle Farm. We're going to be doing our early move on race 1, but before we jump into that, let's talk about the track. It's a good 4 rails in the true, pretty stock standard stuff at HQ. How are you going to play the track? What's the bias, if any?
I think it's going to be leaders. I'm really pushing into that. We had a really big storm here last night over at New Farm here, and I think you live very close, or used to.
Used to, yeah.
Yeah, so
we lost too many units. I had to go out to the suburbs.
Well, you might be able to come back now. So we have plenty of rain, but Eagle Farm sort of handles it, and that's probably what's going to stop them from watering it too much now. And so we've had no rain today, and if we have no rain tomorrow and then Saturday, we're going to have a pretty good damn track and a dry track. And the rail in, I remember the last time the rail was at 3 meters, we had the track playing, we sort of pretty much put dried out on pace plus.
Yep.
So that was at 3 meters. So I'm expecting it to be pretty fast, and I think it'll be good. I know last time was here, the rail was out 7 meters, and we thought the lanes 1 and 2 weren't that crash hot, but you could race up on the speed and still go good. So back, tucking it in a bit, I think they're going to play. It's going to play pretty on pace, I'm thinking.
All right, and our early move comes early in the card as well. It's an 1800 meter class 3, and we are starting with, your favourite there is actually Bar None at $2.45. Adelaide $2.70. Seeing is Believing is third line in betting at $7. Niami $7.50. Foreign Territory $10, and Top Me Up again is $20. A lot of usual suspects here, and a pretty small field. Let's start with the favourite, Bar None. We've we've drawn from this well in the past. I'd say we're going back for a little bit more on Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got to stick fat here. Same horses. He's gone up a couple of kilos, but he's got Kyle Wilson Taylor to get that 2 or 3 off, which is fantastic with him. And he's got the one gate. He's a horse that really needs to be ridden as cold, but I think he should finish up about 5th on the fence, getting a nice suck run behind him. And I think horses like Foreign Territory will push forward. And, I think there's going to be enough speed here for him to track the speed and then come to the outside, a small field, and get over the top of them. As I said, I was thinking leaders are going to go good, but this small field's not going to be a real problem. And as I said, he's got one gate, so shouldn't be too far away.
Especially first race there, yeah. And the second favourite is Adelaide, $2.70. Scissor hands on board. Can it possibly shake the race up a bit if Barnum doesn't perform?
Well, he jumped so quickly. I think she jumped so quick the other day that it led and had it soft in front. I think it meets with the claim. It meets Barnum a little bit worse. So I think that's the problem with it. And it's, as I said, it's not going to get its own way in front this time. Horses like Naomi's got speed and Foreign Territory's got speed, so they should roll, and that should suit Barnon better than what it did. Barnon should have the advantage over Adelaide just as much as what it did the other day, or even more. So I'm against Adelaide, but I'm not only because we've got it around the $4 mark or something. It's 270, so I'm happy to go down with the ship with it.
Yeah, okay. And talking, you mentioned Naomi before as well, and talking rated prices, I can see you've just got a touch under market. You said it'll be up on speed. Top 3 chance?
Yeah, it's there. It's coming out of probably a stronger race than last time, but it maybe it raced a little bit or further forward than what it usually does, and it might be able to turn things around if he sort of half comes out a little bit negative on it. And might be able to tuck in behind horses like Adelaide and that Foreign Territory. It might be a little bit different horse, but I just think Barnum just got this turn of foot, and just this claimer. He's we've talked about him a fair bit in the past, that he's a good jockey, and with this claim now in town, he's just got a big advantage over a lot of these blokes, especially when he's on horses that he doesn't have to do too much on. Like, if he goes to the front, he's going to be very hard to beat. And those horses that he can just relax back in the field with taking the weight off them, they can finish hard. So big advantages you find of good apprentice.
KWT, you'll notice about half of Tommy Turbo's tweets are just jockey names, and even half of those jockey name tweets would be KWT. He was with him early doors when he came on the scene, and he's been doing really well. So exciting race. And it's not race 1, it's race 3, is it?
Yeah, race 3.
Race 3, excuse me, got it labelled race 1. Race 3,
My Did I put it in race 1? It might have been my fault.
Right. Yeah. These things happen. As long as we find the winner, that's all right. So, backing bar none again, drawing from the same well, hoping for a result. $2.45 on offer now. Looks okay to bet early, John. You're probably not expecting much change really between now and race 1, I can imagine.
Not at the 240. I think that 240 is just a little bit overs there for us. So it's not going to get into even money or anything like that. So just thinking we have to get what happened with Turbo with his lays on a Saturday. We're going to have to bring him back. I don't think he had a loss, did he?
He was flying. He was absolutely flying. He'd ping me a message, whenever he's got one, and we'd set it up. I was busy once, he was busy once, and we've sort of fallen out of love. We probably need to stoke that back up again. The punters were loving it, and they were getting feed. So we might, we'll probably see a return of that on Saturday. I'll poke him and ask for one because they're good, and I think we might see some more free yard videos from Doom, and I'll get out of the house and come down to the track. So we might do a couple of those as well for the guys on Twitter. So if you are following our Twitter, guys, make sure you turn your tweet notifications on, so you'll get those notifications 2 to 3 minutes before. We'll do a couple of races, but our weekly and monthly guys, they get these before every race at Doomben and the Gold Coast from the team, just giving comments on how the horses look in the yard and the market and the track.
this one will be a pretty interesting one because we'd just like to see Barnum hold together a bit. He did lighten off a little bit the other day, just a touch, but I think he should be okay. So hopefully I can improve on my yard tactics. The last on Wednesday, I potted a couple early and I backed one early, and then I jumped off. So, geez, it was one of those days where horses just come into the yard very fresh, first up and sweating up and just on the toe, and you just couldn't back them. And God, it went good, that thing of goals. He's going to make a heap of improvement. I think it was in the first race on Wednesday, second race on Wednesday. So that's one to follow.
Yep.
Just throwing one out there. I think it'll be a great Hong Kong horse.
Ooh, there you go. A little bit of a spruik. I'm steering well clear of Wednesdays. I'm at work. It's too frustrating. I get too emotional about the Wednesdays. Need to just enjoy the Saturday stuff. They're good horses and you can trust them. I'm too nervous on a Wednesday. Anyway, guys, head to macbet.com.au to get all our stuff this weekend. There's tip sheets, platinum sheets at Doomben and Gold Coast, and we'll have yard for you as well. That is about all from us, John. Thanks for your time and good luck. Hope to see you on the improvers list. Cheers.
We'll be trying.
Thanks.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers.